gorgeous! I'm delighted you stopped by. Welcome to another edition of Monochrome Monday, and this time we're doing pink! Pink is my favorite color, and after the world suffered the loss of one of my personal heroes, Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, last night, I can't think of anything I need more than a little extra happiness and a little extra pink in my life. So today we're going to be using the Ooh La La palette from Colourpop and creating a very pink look. I'm going to start with some Primer Potion by Urban Decay. I just can't get over it. This has the potential to be one of my favorite palettes of all time. So I think in the crease, I'm going to start here with Sandbar. I am putting it on with a Colourpop E1 brush. And today we're going to do a cut crease, and I'm going to use the P. Louise base, which I know is a very popular eyeshadow primer. I was watching Robert Welsh, who is this incredible makeup YouTuber, and if you haven't seen him, you should definitely check him out. He's an actual makeup artist, so he knows what he's talking about. He doesn't cut his crease with concealer because of the same reasons that he doesn't use it for primer, because there's too much oils. And I was like, well, of course, that makes total sense. So I went ahead and I got the P. Louise base, which I thought would be a good one to use to try to cut our crease a bit. This is the color Rumor 1. So let's see how this works out. I'm going to take a Colourpop E3 brush. Super precise. Hopefully that won't be too bad. Over that, I'm going to put this sort of shimmer. It's called Big Sugar. And let's see. Oh, that's gorgeous. I think that's going to go really well. And then I'm also really intrigued by Tickled here because it's got kind of a glittery kind of quality. I'm really excited about these. And I'm going to take a Eco Tools brush and put Big Sugar right where we cut our crease. In the outer corner, I'm going to try this kind of purpley tone called Caddy. And I'm taking that on a Sephora Pro Angled Shadow Brush number 13. Ooh, that's getting cool. Now just above the crease, I'm going to take a little bit of Opulent, this one in the middle, it's a shimmer. We're going to see what that does. And I'm taking that on an Eco Tools fluffy blending brush. And I wipe that off of my color switch, and I'm going to take Moonstruck down here in the bottom, and we're going to see what that looks like on our brow bone. Definitely blended out into being more of a rose gold, and it's either because that's how it is or because I blended it in with a bunch of the other pink shadows we had already put down. But either way, I think it's really pretty. For our inner corner, I'm going to take that really beautiful, soft, shimmery one called Tickled. We're going to lay that down. This one does clearly have a pink shift in the pan. Well, I think that looks pretty dang cool. Alright, we'll set that down. I'm going to break slightly our monochrome theme, and I'm going to take my KVD tattoo liner and do our eyeliner. Now I'm going to go over some of that with this Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Eyeliner in the color Junk Show. It's kind of a weird name for it, but it's sort of a pink with holographic glitters mixed in. And I love their heavy metal glitter liners. I have a few, but obviously this one's my favorite color. I decided to kind of from halfway in outline and then come around down the other side of the wing. And I think that that looks pretty cool. I'm going to dig back into our Ooh La La palette, take this mermaid kind of pointed brush, and I'm going to, I think, go into Opulent and use that on our lower lash line a bit. And then I'm going to take a little Tickled and put that in the very inner part of my under eye. And on our waterline, we have our Colourpop Cream Gel Liner in the color Insomniac. I love this. It's such a hot, hot pink. Okay, I think that completes our eye look. I'm really happy with it so far. So now I'm going to go ahead and prime my face with our Primed and Peachy Face Primer by Too Faced. Today's the kind of day to go in with all of our favoriteest things. So I'm going to take my Peach Perfect foundation in the color Snow. But I am going to put that on with this Juno & Co. sponge I just got. It got like really big when I wet it, and it's so interesting. I've heard of other people using these, and it's got like fuzzies on the outside, so I'm really interested to see how this actually works with the application. So I've been watching a lot of French YouTube lately. I took French in high school and college, not through college, but for my language requirement. I used to be okay-ish at it, and so I was like, oh, this will be so cool. You know, I haven't taken a French class in longer than I care to admit. Thought it would be like a cool way to, I don't know, branch out and watch some different kinds of makeup videos, work on my French skills some more. And I was watching it, and Andrew walked by and he's like, oh, can you understand what they're saying? I was like, oh, I mean, not really. I was like, I got like 50% of what's going on. It's been a long time since I've used it, but you know, I still know some things. False. The second time he came through, like that was him walking out of the room, and when he was walking back, I was like, okay, that was like super a lie. I definitely only understand like 25% of what they're saying. It was only now, like, thinking back and reflecting on things, I started watching it on YouTube, that I realized I was never very good at languages. I mean, I've always been very interested by them. I love foreign languages. I think it's so cool when people can speak more than one language, and I've always wanted to be able to speak like at least one extra one, but like a bunch more would be so cool. I just never really had a knack for it. I realized recently, I think what part of what was holding me back is not a non-aptitude for it, although it doesn't come as easily to me as it comes to others. Like, I think it had a lot more to do with anxiety, because back then I wasn't diagnosed yet with any of my plethora of anxiety and depression disorders. I could read it pretty okay, but speaking it, I would have, and I just assumed this was what happened to everybody, but I guess it probably isn't, because I would have a panic attack like every time. Back then I was like, this is, you know, how everybody feels. It's scary to speak a language that you don't really know what you're doing. And I mean, I've been having panic attacks for like as long as I can remember, so I didn't really think it was abnormal. But that was probably not a good sign. This, I applied it really beautifully. Like, it's kind of a weird sponge, but I think I really like it. Like, I think it applied my foundation really evenly and really gorgeously. I think I'm going to keep using this one and see how it goes. It applied the foundation to my nose better than anything else that I've tried yet. Brush, sponge, this has done so much better with that specifically. Interesting. And for concealer, I'm going to go in with the Tarte Shape Tape. So anyway, I think part of my problem was that I have a panic attack every time I have to speak it. It was making me feel a lot of old feelings that I hadn't thought about in a really long time, watching these YouTubes and watching one of them where the girl was like, yeah, I didn't know French, but I moved to Paris and I've been here 5 years and now I'm fluent and stuff. God, how do people just do that? How do you just move to another country where you don't speak the language just cause? It's just like, it's something I had always kind of wanted to do, was live abroad again. I studied abroad. That's interesting. The foundation actually pulled up the concealer. I think it pulled up my foundation. That's never happened before. That's really weird. I put it right on the sponge this time. Okay. I think that pretty much fixed it. How odd. That's never happened before. I mean, sometimes I like tap it out too much and it moves around, but I've never had like exactly where I put the concealer take the foundation off. That's really strange. Our Peach Perfect foundation and primer deserve the Peach Perfect powder. So that's what I'm going to use to set my face. So anyway, I wonder if it would be a lot different now if since I've had these kind of realizations and I have a whole much more life under my belt, if I would do better this time around or not. I don't know, but it hit me like a ton of bricks that let my anxiety get in the way of me kind of achieving this dream. And it's just, man, threw me for a loop. I've been in, like, I felt kind of weird about it since then. I don't know. All right, I'm going to take our Too Faced Natural Face palette, and I'm going to go into Pink Wink for my blush, and I'm going to use a Real Techniques blush brush. Because we're feeling monochrome and I'm feeling a little bit extra, I'm also going to take some of that blush and put it on my nose, maybe my chin a little, and just, you know, bring that color all over. So I'm going to stick with the same palette, and for my highlight, I'm going to go into Starlight. It looks tan in the pan, kind of peachy maybe, but it's got a beautiful pink shift. I wonder if knowing that it's anxiety that was holding me back and kind of letting it hold me back, if that would be different now that I have medication and therapy, which I definitely wasn't doing then. So, I don't know, something to consider, I suppose. It's just something that's been on my mind a lot. But I still keep watching French YouTube. And maybe their chicness will rub off on me through the screen. Although I just put a ton of highlighter basically on all over my face, so maybe not. And that ain't all, folks. I'm also going to take this KVD Metal Crush palette, and I'm going to go into the pink called Rose Shock. So it's extremely, extremely glittery. It's basically just adding some pink glitter to our face. So I'm going to take a Colourpop F2 brush, and I'm going to sweep that onto my upper cheeks as well. Ugh. Ooh. 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 Man, I love it. I love it. I love it so much. Okay. Today I'm going to go in light on my brows with my Busy Gal Brows by Tarte. So I have this pair of Anastasia Beverly Hills lashes. This is the style Gorgina. They are humongous and slightly ridiculous for me. For other people, they could be just a dream, but for me, it's a lot. I bought these before I had even started putting lashes on because they were like 50% off, so they were really cheap. I don't mind messing these up. I want to try an idea. I have no idea if it will work for some pink lashes too. And I'm going to apply those with my Tarteist lash glue. Oh man. It's a lot. It is a lot. I put these on first before I did my mascara for a reason. So I'm going to put on my mascara of Tarte Camera Lashes. Alright, so now that my real lashes and my fake lashes have a coating of mascara on them to make them a little bit stickier perhaps, I am going to go back into our Ooh La La palette, and I'm going to go into the color Big Sugar. I'm going to take a little angled like eyeshadow brush. This is the Colourpop E6. And I'm going to go into Big Sugar. And I'm going to sweep that on our lashes and see if we can't give them a pink hue. Well, it didn't want to stick to the synthetic hair, but it did stick to my actual lashes. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can. So, not the effect that I was hoping for, but it's still pinker than it was. Oh, these lashes are something else. Lips, I'm going to take, Lips, I'm going to take my Urban Decay, an Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On pencil in the color Frenchie. When I said that Colourpop one was my first ever lip pencil, I had lied. I totally forgot that I've had this one for a really long time. I don't wear lip liner a lot, an everyday thing. It's just another step and it takes a long time. But I think that one looks good. While I do have some new pink lip products to try, this is also sort of a favorites video. So I'm going to take my Everlasting Glimmer Veil in the color Shockful. You just can't beat how hot pink and glittery that is. And of course we'll want to keep all this well locked down with some setting spray. I love the way that feels. It's so refreshing to spray it on. That is all that I have for today. Thank you for joining me on this very special edition of Monochrome Monday featuring my favorite color. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. I want to remind you that it is really important to get out and vote in November, and I will leave a link down below to register to vote if you haven't already, and to check on your registration status if you have. I implore you all to get involved because every vote really does count. It really does matter. It really does matter. Go ahead and read books and fight evil, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye. Who's the cutest? Say hello. Say hello, my name is Roro. I am so cute, but I bark a lot when my mom's trying to film. Rorosh. Good girl. Good job, good girl.